Are you a young person who wants people to listen when you talk? Well, I've got a little secret for you that will set you up for success and earn you the respect and the listening you deserve. That little tool is called Robert's Rules of Order. I know that you're probably sitting there scratching your head thinking, Robert's Rules of Order? Well, what is that? Well, today in this video, brought to you by NAP, the National Association of Parliamentarians, we're going to be talking all about why it's important for you, yes you, to learn Robert's Rules of Order. My name is Susan Leahy and I'm from robertsrulesmadesimple.com, and today we're going to be talking to registered parliamentarian Brandon Walters, who also happens to be the chair of the NAP Youth Committee. All about Robert's Rules of Order and why it's important for youth to get excited about learning this topic. Well, I'm excited to be on the phone today with Mr. Brandon Walters. He is actually the chair of the NAP Youth Committee. So Brandon, thank you for taking the time to be with us on this call today.
Pleasure to be with you today.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm selfishly so excited about this topic, really about why youth should be interested in learning parliamentary procedure, because I got my start learning this stuff way back when I was in high school years ago, right?
Yeah, well, me too. So we have something in common there.
There we go. So talk to me a little bit about your experience, how you came to learn about Roberts and why it was so important for you to learn it when you learned it.
Well, originally I started out as one of those youth competitors. I was a part of a youth organization, and we competed in parliamentary procedure competitions on the regional and the state level, and basically we went on to the national level and won lots of awards.
Okay, so I'm curious, what organization were you in, Brandon?
It was the Technology Student Association.
Okay, very interesting. I was involved in FFA, Future Farmers of America.
Oh, yeah, big partner.
Yeah.
Well, not partner, but we do work very closely with them.
Yeah, that's great. Well, it's interesting because I think that I know, at least from my experience, when I was competing as a high school student, I had no understanding of why I was doing what I was doing and how I was going to continue to use this tool of Robert's Rules of Order into college and then well after, and now I've made a career training people how to use Robert's Rules of Order. So what's your experience with that?
Well, you're absolutely right about that. When I started out as a competitor, and you started out as a competitor, but we also moved on and realized that it's not only about competition, but you learn about leadership and you have a leadership edge, so to speak. So you start out as a competitor, you go into being an officer or just a regular member, and then what lies beyond that? Being part of a high school group, you eventually graduate, go to college, or become engaged in your local government, or are involved in some sort of board or commission. Maybe you're on a church committee, or who knows? Any number of ways you will be engaged in parliamentary procedure. So you just never know what road you'll be taken down. So
well, and it's funny because you never know what road you're going to be taken down, but you're going to be on a road where you'll be sitting in meetings. And I think
that's absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And one of the things is people think that that leadership just means officer, and what they don't seem to get is that just being a member is also important for leadership and involvement in your group.
Right. Well, and I want to say it, young people need to learn this tool. Robert's Rules of Order is the parliamentary authority that boards use to run their meetings. And what a valuable tool to have in your toolbox when you walk into a meeting, because you'll really be able to participate.
That's absolutely right. You don't want to be the person who walks in and they say, "Oh, would you like to be part of our board?" And then you say, absolutely, yes, I'd love to be part of your board, and then not know where to go from there. At least you have a point of engagement beyond that. You can say, oh, well, let's see what we have. We have this or that, and so we're able to go beyond, just the acceptance of that.
Yeah, and if you can be a young person and really emphasizing, if you're somebody who is 18 years old, 19 years old, 20, 25 years old, that has a command of Robert's Rules of Order, you can really participate at a higher level, and it's going to really earn you a lot more respect.
Absolutely. You know, when we talked about high school, you know, and being a guy engaged there. Well, when I graduated high school, I went to a university, and I became a parliamentarian for the campus senate, for instance. And I helped people from, you know, not just student government, but I was also helping with teaching fraternities and sororities proper parliamentary procedures. So you just never know what organization you might become involved with where this is a useful tool to have.
And that it's cool to use Robert's Rules of Order. Like, that's one of the things I think that is important, is that when you can communicate and speak in the language of meetings, you're awesome. Everybody's gonna want to know what you know.
Well, everyone will take note. Everyone will absolutely take note that you seem to know something that most everyone else in the room doesn't.
That's right.
You know, and that's one of the important things of, you know, then if you decide to seek, you know, a leadership role down the road, people will remember that, and people will remember how effective you were in this meeting or that meeting, or when this topic came up that, you know, may or may not have been very controversial. How did you deal with that? How did you help your organization cope with that?
Well, it's funny, Brandon, when I was you're talking just so straight to me right now, because when I was in college, I actually got elected to student body president because I could run a good meeting. You know, so it's amazing the respect that it earns you. But you know, I want to pause for just a moment, because where I want to go real quickly is I think we've done a great job of really kind of saying why it's important for young people to get vested. It'll support your success not only today but tomorrow. But I want to give a little bit of time to talk about who are some of NAP's youth partners.
Well, absolutely. We work very closely with a lot of student organizations, for instance, FBLA, PBL, which Phi Beta Lambda is the post-secondary version of FBLA, you know, Future Business Leaders of America, FCCLA, the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, HOSA, which it's HOSA Future Health Professionals. They recently changed their name. Skills USA, and Business Professionals of America, or BPA as many know them. But we work very closely with these organizations, and we have very strong partnerships and have for many years.
That's great. Now, in what capacity does the National Association of Parliamentarians support their youth partners?
Well, we do. For instance, we do send and work with these organizations to make sure they have qualified judges for their parliamentary procedure competition. We do workshops at these national conventions. We do bring in a member from each of these organizations to the NAP National Leadership Convention every 2 years. So they not only do we go to them, they also come to us. So it is very symbiotic. It's a very positive give and take from both sides.
Well, and all of the organizations that you were talking about are so great with supporting youth and giving them so many essential skills. And it's interesting that all of them see such a value in teaching young people how to really be able to speak the language of meetings, you know, how to understand how to make a motion, how to make an amendment, how to just use the basics of Robert's Rules of Order so that they can participate, not just today, but into the future. I want to real quickly move us in the direction of really talking about, well, what is youth? I mean, when you say youth, it kind of, it's a large container, but when NAP thinks of youth, what kind of structure do we give that?
Well, that's a great question, and we do emphasize on high school and college groups, but we do also take into account both the younger set. You know, we do have groups that we work with, for instance, 4-H, who do have members who are younger than high school.
Younger than high school.
And then on the other side of that, we do work with young professionals who are just starting out their careers, who are beyond that college age.
Right. Well, and I think what's so interesting about members of the National Association of Parliamentarians is that this work may not be your full-time work, but you can see the value of understanding Robert's Rules of Order and how it's going to make you more competitive in your day job.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You know, for instance, I know this isn't my full-time job. I don't work with parliamentary procedure, you know, as my primary position, but you know, it does definitely help me and give me a leg up with what I do in my day job. So.
Right. Well, if I could just like translate all my energy and your energy through the camera right now and get a young person, 1, 2, 3, or 103 excited about learning Robert's Rules of Order, then we've done our job, because their life is going to be different if they just choose to learn the basics of this language. Can you do us a favor real quickly, if there's any potential partners that are out there listening right now, or some young professionals or high school students that want to learn more about NAP, how can they connect with this amazing national organization?
Absolutely. We're always looking for any members, whether they're youth or otherwise. But if we do have anyone interested, they can call our home office. It's a toll-free number. It's 1-888-627-2929, and then they can speak with our national office, and then they can either refer them to me, and I'll speak with them directly, or we do have a process set up for how we work with new potential members.
All right, well, thank you so much, Brandon, for your time and your energy and your passion with respects to getting youth involved in learning about Robert's Rules of Order. It is an important tool, it is a cool tool, and it is a tool that will really set you up for success in your future.